Finally, it seems as though we're getting rid of Stern Ritter Love, Stern Ritter L. Finally, it's been a long time coming, and he only been around a little bit of time, but the amount of time he's been around has just been agonizing. Thank goodness that Glutton or Gluttony or whatever the hell the name of that Stern Ritter is, she's seemingly about to get rid of this crusty ass motherfucker because she's doing the entire Bleach fandom a service. And not to mention yet again returning to the epicness of Bach's invasion of the Soul Palace. Let's go. While it's annoying to see him, what a great way to start off the chapter with Stern Ritter L fearing for his life and just in a corner in shambles like, oh shit, because he's about to get eaten. I was like, yes, we can finally rid ourselves of this worthless excuse for a Stern Ritter, for a villain, for a fucking piece of fucking matter for that matter. But the chapter really kicks off when we finally get back to Juha Bach's invasion of the Soul Palace. And one of the things that really got me was Kirinji can't hit him, and I'm starting up thinking like, whoa, like what is Bach doing that he can't hit him? I thought of a bunch of different theories prior to, like, you know, finishing the chapter. I was thinking to myself like, okay, is this some sort of new ability? Has Bach had this all along? I had so many different things going through my mind as I was reading the chapter, seeing this, but it was definitely interesting, and nonetheless I was glad that we didn't cut to it and immediately Bach had already defeated, like, you know, the entire Zero Division, because I would have just been super disappointed that we cut out of this and then we come back and it's just immediately like, yeah, we totally skipped everything. So I'm glad that we cut back and Kirinji wasn't done yet. He was still trying to fight, but he couldn't do shit because Bach was just not evading, but he had something around him. So again, it's just like really interesting mystery to start off the chapter. But when Senjumaru shows up, I'm thinking, it's getting real. We have two of the Zero Division, and this just goes to show how well Bach is prepared when you got two of the Zero Division and they both can't touch him. I'm thinking Senjumaru is going to come up here and cut him up, but they both can't touch him. Now, finding out that it's seemingly, anyway, Stern Ritter W Wind that is behind this, basically creating some sort of wind barrier around his king. It's good in a sense that it's like making it a little bit more interesting, and it's not just like, you know, the Zero Division beating on Bach or vice versa, because to be honest with you, like I said from the get-go, I don't know how Bach was planning on coming in here and going through the Soul Palace and fighting all the Zero Division. So the fact that he has this barrier around him makes it more okay. It's understandable why he's able to get through here. I'd imagine the Soul King wouldn't, like, even think twice. He'd probably kill, you know, Wind or whatever. But the thing about Wind is he kind of reminds me in a way of something like, you know, when Aizen used Wonderwise for a particular purpose, he had him there, and then he came and did what he needed to do. And in that sense, I'm kind of like, so we kind of seen something like this already in a sense, but nonetheless, it still makes it more viable than just a beatdown on either side. But the most interesting thing about this entire chapter was when Senjumaru said, it's been a long time, Juha Bach. Now, this displays that they have some connections. He's at the very least met some of the Zero Division. Maybe he met this person prior to them coming to the Zero Division. Maybe they were in the Serate at the time, or maybe it goes even deeper. Maybe Bach, again, these are crazy rumors that have been flying around everywhere. Maybe Bach is the Soul King's child, and at some point he was there, and they no longer refer to him as that. They just refer to him as Juha Bach, you know, the traitor or some shit. Because we can't forget that when he was a baby, he was this special being that had all these powers, and that's what links him to all these Stern Ritters. So we can't, you know, completely rule it out that he has some sort of relation to the Soul King in some sort of, you know, fatherly way, you know, as like a son to him or something even further. And that kind of also makes me think about Urahara and his connection as well, but who knows if we'll even find that out by the end of the series, although I hope. And just an awesome setup for a Bach's invasion, and it just makes it that much more like, okay, he's coming in there, and it's not that he's beating everyone up, it's actually that he's using a trick. Again, the trick feels a little bit like seeing it, you know, before in a sense, like, oh, this particular special one that I had hidden, but nonetheless, it's making sense. So in that aspect, good, and overall, it's just great to be away from Stern Ritter L and get back to the meat of the story and the focus of everything, where everything really lies with Juha Bach and his invasion and his plans. In the ending of the chapter, I was like, wait, I thought they fucking left like ages ago. Why is Ichigo and them still getting ready to fucking launch off, and then they launched off at the end of the chapter? But I'm like, They should have left ages ago. What the fuck? Maybe Orihime couldn't fit inside the rocket. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, very good Bleach chapter this week. Definitely a lot better than a lot of the stuff we've been having lately with Stern Ritter L shooting little shots of love. Shout out to my boy James Hansen for that. That shit is funny. And getting some good progression finally on not only Ichigo and them seemingly finally going over to the Zero Division, but also Bach's invasion continues. And 2 of the Zero Division members can't do anything. And I'd imagine if Wind continues to be around him, Stern Ritter W, then probably none of them are going to be able to touch him, and he'll slowly make his way to the Soul King. I mean, he's already going up the steps. When he went up those steps, it was just like so maniacal. It's like, yeah, I went there, motherfucker. What? And with all that being said, giving this one 8 out of 10. Very good chapter this week of Bleach. Glad that we're getting back on course and getting some progression on the main things that matter. And that's Bach and Ichigo and what they're about and what they're doing right now. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, what do you think about Stern Ritter W? Again, it feels a little bit cheap and it feels a little bit like kind of in a way we've seen something like this in a sense. But ultimately, what do you think about his power? Do you think it's too hacks? Do you think that the Zero Division members should be able to get rid of him easily? Also, what do you think are the ties that Juha Bach has to the Zero Division, if any, or the Soul Palace or the Soul King, when Senjumaru was basically like, long time no see, Juha Bach? Is he the son of the Soul King? Is there some relation there? Or is it that he's been there before? Or is it that, in particular, this character was in the Serate back in the day when Bach was still around or something? And your overall thoughts of the chapter. Are you glad to get rid of Stern Ritter L? I know I am. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that would be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.